I followed Clara through thick and thin for 5 years. Everyone knows I'm her favorite. Returning home, I was all excited about planning our wedding, but I caught her with her first love. The first love asked, "Jake took a bullet for you. Almost died. Aren't you marrying him?" Clara leaned back on the couch, smiling nonchalantly. A bodyguard dying for their boss is just what's expected. Should I marry everyone who works under me? Makes sense. Then you should let him help plan our wedding. I turned around and left, swallowing my pain. Later, I appeared at a family banquet with another woman. Clara's face went pale seeing the mark on my neck. "How are you two together?" The woman hugged my waist, laughing flirtatiously. "You didn't want to repay the life-saving favor, so your sister is helping you out." Clara met up with some friends. When I got there, I saw her in the crowd and the guy next to her. He had delicate features. Holding a glass, clinked it with Clara's, batting his eyes as he sweetly asked, "Clara, are you happy being engaged to me?" Clara gave a doting smile, flicking his forehead gently. "What do you think, Ryan? I've been waiting 10 years. The guy suddenly seemed to remember something, getting jealous. "I heard you have a male bodyguard, and from what I know, you've been inseparable for 5 years. Everyone in the circle knows he took a bullet for you. Almost died. Really not marrying him." Clara leaned back on the couch with a nonchalant smile. "A bodyguard sacrificing for their boss is expected. Do I marry everyone working under me?" I froze. I knew Ryan, Clara's childhood sweetheart. She had a crush on him all through her teens, officially together in college, went to Iceland for the Northern Lights, Norway for the fjords, even passionately kissed at the top of a Ferris wheel, promising forever. Sadly, even the most loving couples fight. After countless arguments and reconciliations, they separated for good. I met Clara a year after their breakup. Back then, I just finished a job for a previous employer. Before reaching the airport, my money and ID got stolen. I started a fight with the thief right there. They outnumbered me. I didn't get my stuff back and ended up getting arrested. That's when Clara showed up, bailed me out, holding a black umbrella, wearing a matching long red trench coat. The rainy season in Country A was freezing. She was the only warmth I saw. "Jake, nice skills. 8,000 a month. Interested in working for me?" I followed her. A year later, at the same spot, she was in danger. I took a bullet for her. As I fainted, I knew I was done. I woke up a month later. The usually reserved woman had red eyes, looking disheveled and messy. "This is so rushed, but I can't wait. Let's get engaged, Jake. When we return home, I'll marry you." I waited and waited. Finally, in the 5th year, Clara shifted her career focus back home. The security back home was great. Everything was. I had more free time, started planning our wedding. Sadly, it was just wishful thinking on my part. Just like back then, I didn't wait for Dad to pick me up after being abandoned. Now I didn't wait for Clara to marry me. I didn't know how to react. Ever since being sent to the base at 15, besides executing tasks for employers, I rarely interacted with people, not good at handling relationships. I could flawlessly complete a mission, but what was before me puzzled me. Just then, a waiter accidentally bumped into me. People in the room noticed me. "Jake." I turned to the voice. Clara didn't seem to expect me there. After the initial shock, a hint of displeasure crossed her dark eyes. She frowned slightly, her voice a bit cold, asking, "Who said you could come?" The tone was questioning. Even when I first started working for her, 5 years ago, she never used this attitude with me. "Jake, is it?" Ryan got up and approached like a curious kid, checking me out top to bottom, finally grasping my hand eagerly. "Clara often talks about you, says you're skilled. I haven't seen you in action. Show me. You wouldn't refuse, right?" "Show what?" "I'm not a circus monkey." I looked at Clara, hoping she'd say something, but Clara seemed like she didn't hear anything. I didn't move. Ryan frowned slightly. "Clara, look at him. Aren't I half his boss? He doesn't listen to me." Clara looked at me, her gaze pressing. "Don't be unreasonable. Come on. It's not a big deal. You're sulking like everyone's dead. This is such a farce, Clara. Where'd you find someone like him?" The people around sneered, while Clara just looked at me coldly. She wasn't the Clara who'd break someone's hand for teasing me lightly in Country A anymore. She didn't say a word in my defense. I was crushed beyond upset, yet I knew until my contract with Clara was over, her orders came first. Gazing at the coffee table, I clenched my fist, smacking it hard. The table shattered into pieces, glass shards flying around. I met Clara's in different eyes, spitting out word by word. Is that enough? The room was chaotic. Many cursed at me for being nuts. After getting hit by glass shards, some even demanded Clara deal with me. Let it go, Clara said. He lost his parents young, barely went to school, clumsy. It wasn't on purpose, no need to fuss. Did she talk about my past with him? Memories of our college times flashed. We aced the entrance exams and slept together after graduation. She was incredible, could really wear you out. Snickers and teasing filled the room. More. We want to hear, they shouted. Ryan blushed red. Didn't we travel abroad often? We promised to do it everywhere. So in every new country we visited, the first thing was. After Ryan finished, he sat back next to Clara, eyes full of hope. So did you ever think of me in these 5 years? Clara looked at him, emotions swirling. Yes. Ryan smiled, satisfied. Prove it. Clara smiled back. I moved my work focus home for you. Isn't that enough? Not enough. Clara fell silent, her eyes darkened, fixing on Ryan. Suddenly, her hand grabbed his chin, kissing him fiercely. After a moment of silence, the others almost brought the roof down with their noise. A few minutes later, Clara let go of Ryan and looked down at him with deep affection, her lips showing traces of something left behind. Is it enough? Not really, but he teased a bit, sat up, and whispered in Clara's ear. Nobody knew what he said. Clara's eyes dimmed, and then she spoke, her voice raspy. My heart was aching badly, my eyes stung, tears welling up, but I held them back. I turned to leave, but then I heard someone calling. Jake. Ryan spoke up. Clara, how about we get Jake to handle our wedding prep? He's family, I trust him. No way you're hurt. I argued, but Ryan cut me off loudly. Clara, Jake's injured. Maybe we should take him to the hospital. Clara glanced over. This was the same woman who used to get anxious over minor illnesses of mine. She frowned impatiently and spoke indifferently. It's just a small injury. He can handle it himself, no big deal. I left, almost bumped into someone at the room's exit. I apologized softly. The person made a clicking sound, one hand in their pocket, leaning lazily against the wall. They had captivating eyes. Had it been over a year? Am I in such a sorry state? It was Zoe, Clara's half-sister. Even though they were siblings, one was composed and reserved, the other rebellious and flamboyant. I had occasionally heard Clara mention that her sister was a troublemaker, always partying and not serious. Those who got involved with her didn't end up well. I didn't have much to say to her, mumbled something, and tried to leave, but Zoe lazily stuck out a leg to block my path. With skills like yours, if I were you, I'd beat everyone inside. Not happening. Her eyes were full of mischief. Making out right in front of you, and you're mad? If you win, it's jail time. Lose means paying up. After a few silent seconds, her hand landed on my shoulder, and she laughed heartily. After a while, she said casually, I'll help you get back at them. I grabbed her wrist with a blank expression. Just as I was about to tighten my grip, Zoe slung her arm around my shoulder, trying to toss me again. Last time it gave me a mild concussion. Her gaze landed on my blood-stained hand. The laughter in those captivating eyes slowly faded. After a moment, she spoke, her voice cold. Who did this? I didn't quite get why she was reacting so intensely. I wanted to leave, but Zoe was quicker. She dragged me downstairs straight to the drugstore, came out shortly after with a small bag. She grabbed my injured hand and carefully disinfected it. The seriousness in her eyes was like she was handling something fragile. She seemed like a different person from her usual carefree self. A strange feeling stirred in my chest. No need for all this. When I was with Clara, I've always had worse injuries than this. A minor wound like this would have healed before I even got home. I unconsciously tried to pull my hand away, but Zoe held on tighter. She lowered her eyes, standing under the street lamp, its light dancing in her eyes. Want to thank me? Do me a favor. She smiled lazily, the same old Zoe. What kind of favor? Based on what you did for my hand, and almost breaking my wrist, you want to crash at my place? I looked at her oddly. You're loaded. Don't you have anywhere to hide? She pulled out a cigarette, but just held it, remembering something. The people looking for me are pretty capable. Your place is safest. So she was using me as a bodyguard for free. I didn't want to get involved in her issues, especially since she was Clara's sister. Not exactly convenient. She leaned against a Bentley, rolling her eyes. Real cold-hearted, huh? If I get beaten to death, you won't save me? Thinking about her wild reputation, I asked, "You tangled with some guy?" Zoe paused, then laughed and moved closer. Her unique scent washed over me, strangely aggressive, jealous. Getting mixed into other people's relationships was something I didn't want. An old, uncomfortable feeling rose in my heart, and I instinctively backed away. "Jake, I've never had a guy. Maybe try my suggestion. Get back at them." Zoe dropped me off at home. Downstairs, just as she was about to leave, she bumped into a delivery guy. Coffee spilled all over her. I had to let her come upstairs to clean up. Shower sounds were clear. I waited on the couch. Eventually, the water stopped and the door opened. Steaming from the shower, Zoe emerged wrapped only in a towel. In disbelief, I widened my eyes. "What are you doing?" Zoe glanced down. "Taking a shower. Isn't it obvious? What respectable woman showers at a guy's house in the middle of the night? I thought she'd just clean up a bit." I held my tongue. She seemed unfazed, nonchalantly saying, "Borrowed your towel. Hope you don't mind. You've already used it. Why ask now?" Zoe paused, not expecting my response. "Want me to return it?" Her fingers lingered on the towel, about to pull. My heart skipped a beat. Zoe doesn't play by the rules. Her pulling a stunt like this wasn't shocking. I quickly stopped her hand. "No, I don't mind." But something didn't feel right. We locked eyes, a light dancing in Zoe's. I jerked my hand away, but she seized it before I could. "With skills like yours, you grabbed the wrong place." She was too close. Her scent, identical to mine, seeped in, creating a strange, unspeakable tension and entanglement. Or was it intentional? Maybe throwing her out wasn't an option. Luckily, Zoe knew when to quit. "My clothes are dirty. Got any women's clothes here?" "Nope. But if you don't mind, you can borrow my robe. Might not fit, but it's late. Nobody would see, and it's easier for you to leave." I opened the door, hinting it was time to go. Zoe's smile faded, her eyes cold, voice controlled. "Jake, when I saved you in Country A, I thought it would at least earn me shelter for a night. Got it. Your compassion is reserved for Clara, huh?" Zoe left. The room felt emptier. That was during a mission. I had succeeded but didn't escape, nor could I reach Clara. I thought I'd end in that dark abandoned factory. Who would have thought that Zoe would drive in against the light? At that moment, perfect driving skills, a thrilling rescue, and I escaped onto her car. By the seaside and the countryside, a woman smoking, mocking with a hint of anger. "How much does Clara pay you to risk your life like this? If I came a minute later, you'd be toast." Back then, head over heels for Clara. I'd do anything, not thinking about the consequences. "I'll pay you double, and it's safer. Join me, think about it." I shook my head, looking at the totaled, globally limited edition car. "Zoe, we are not on the same path." Zoe sneered, her expression unclear through the thin smoke. "Clara might not be on your path either. 5 years have passed. That bullet from back then now hits me right between the eyes." Thoughts return. I gathered all the gifts Clara had given me over the years, arranged for a courier, and sent them back. I was still in dreamland when the phone rang the next day. I answered without even looking. "When did you start playing mind games? Hard to get tactics don't suit you. These old things won't change anything, Jake. I don't want to see you looking foolish. Don't disappoint me." It was Clara, instantly awake. I didn't have time to speak before she continued, her tone full of disappointment and disdain. "Ryan has been pampered since he was a kid. If you're angry, take it up with me, not him." To think, in their eyes, I'm now without the most basic human decency. If I did go after him, he wouldn't be looking so lively right now. After a brief silence, she spoke coldly. "Get this wedding done, and I'll end our contract." I started planning Clara and Ryan's wedding. Many of Clara's friends knew that she and I were supposed to get married. With her first love back, now I'm just an object of ridicule. He's got some ironclad nerves or a really thick skin. I'd have no face left to show. People climbing up from the bottom of society have no limits, and grabbing Clara is a chance they won't miss. A bodyguard must be played out by former employers, still dreaming of reaching Clara without considering who he is. My face burned with shame. I grabbed a nearby billboard and threw it at them. I couldn't care less about family backgrounds, but when did I have so many dogs? "Who do you think you are, calling us dogs?" One of them rushed forward and kicked me hard. I instinctively wanted to fight back, raising my fist but stopping myself. "What? Try to hit us? Sure you're skilled, but would you dare?" and still think Clara would cover for you. They had a point. Clara might have defended me before, but now if I really fought these brats, it wouldn't just be a matter of money. My future could be ruined by a single punch. One of them raised a hand to slap me. I closed my eyes, shaking with anger. Hold on. Once the wedding's done, I can leave. But the expected pain didn't come. Instead, there was a muffled groan. Who gave you the guts? A familiar voice. I opened my eyes. It was Zoe. She kicked the guy to the ground, holding a baseball bat, eyes cold as ice. You dare touch someone from my house? Are you tired of living? But he's just shameless. Zoe landed a heavy blow with the bat. The guy coughed up blood, eyes filled with fear. Zoe disdainfully stepped aside, scanning the crowd, her voice chilling. He's my bodyguard. Even if I kill one of you, I've got it covered. Sorry, I don't forgive. I replied coldly and gave him a swift kick. Zoe helped me. Of course I'd fight back. The guy coughed up more blood. Zoe looked impressed. Still going? Enough. Okay with that. She grabbed my hand. Why bother with this crappy wedding? Let's take a drive. Taking a drive. Zoe took me home instead. She relaxed on my love seat. As I was about to speak, but she started first. I didn't sleep at all last night. Can I just nap for a bit? I'll get you a blanket. I went to grab a light blanket for her. As I turned, my wrist was grabbed. Zoe looked up, half smiling, her eyes slightly red. Did it feel good? Referring to the earlier scene. It did. Zoe's smile deepened. There's something better. Want to try? Her gaze had a seductive hook, like a temptress. I felt the danger instinctively. My expression darkened instantly. Zoe. She released me, appearing unbothered. I'm a normal woman. Have any booze? Let's drink. You're not sleeping. Then Zoe sat up, covering her legs with the blanket. Let's have some, you in? I was feeling pretty stressed, with a weight on my chest. Sure, okay. Zoe ordered a bunch of beers. I had one bottle. She finished the rest. I have a low tolerance. One bottle was my max. Half dazed, Zoe's handsome face loomed closer. She stared at me, her eyes flickering with unknown emotion. Mess around more, and I can't promise I'll keep my hands off. I stared back, brain tangled with an urge rising. Suddenly, I leaned in, grabbing her collar and kissed her soft lips. Like this, Zoe froze completely. After a moment, her voice was deeply hoarse. Jake, I tore off her shirt, pressing down, a night of chaos. The next morning when I woke, Zoe was already up. She stood by the window, bathed in the light, exuding a warm, soothing aura. It oddly made me feel at ease. Awake, I got up, my back aching terribly. The first step I took nearly had me fall. Zoe caught me quickly. Practicing more next time? Zoe had her arms on either side of me. Jake, I'm a bit traditional. What? You slept with me? You're responsible. I got together with Zoe. What happened last night was mostly my fault. I wasn't that drunk, just needed an excuse to let loose. It happened to be her, precisely her. In an adult world, what's done is done. Since then, Zoe stuck around my place. She was feisty, and I was a regular guy. We spent days and nights together. Time flew by, leaving Clara and Ryan's wedding date fast approaching. After checking the venue one day, I bumped into the two of them hand in hand, looking perfectly in sync. Ryan left for a bit, and that's when Clara approached me. She stared at me for a long time, her dark eyes filled with scrutiny. Got a girlfriend? Maybe it was because of those wild nights with Zoe. Seeing her again, the pain of being dumped had lessened. Facing her, I even felt a bit annoyed. Your girlfriend got into it with Tony for you. Looks like she didn't know it was Zoe who had the run-in with Tony. Clara coughed, saying, no need to bring around just anyone to tick me off. She always talked about deep feelings but turned around and married someone else, played around yet never really dated. I couldn't hold back and snapped back. She's not just anyone. I've always been protective. Used to be of you, but now of someone else. Clara seemed surprised by my quick switch, standing there stunned. After a moment, she raised her hand to touch my face, but I dodged, and her hand fell short. You don't settle. Don't do something stupid just to get back at me. I didn't care what she thought anymore. There wasn't anything left at the event, so I left. Didn't expect Zoe to show up to pick me up. As soon as I got in the car, she flung herself at me. A hurried, possessive kiss landed, as if it declared some sort of meaning. After a long time, Zoe pulled back. Was it a good talk? I thought for a moment, then answered honestly. Still better talking with you. Why are you here? Zoe smirked, her eyes shining with pride. Forgot? Told you last night. Grandpa's birthday party next week. I'm taking you to pick out outfits with me. She was serious. Meeting the family usually means it's for real. I wasn't sure if they knew about Clara and me, but jumping from one sister to the other was never a good look. Zoe's smile faded, her slender hands gripping the steering wheel as the car started and got into traffic. She asked, "Are you in for real, or just messing around?" I stayed quiet for a while. Zoe scoffed lightly. "Jake, you really playing me?" After that, Zoe never came looking for me, but she texted me good morning and good night every day. Same few lines over and over. Habits are strange things. Before Zoe moved in, I never felt lonely alone at home. After she stopped coming by, everything felt off. Days drifted along, and it was Grandpa's party day. Zoe didn't send a message that day. Instead, Ryan visited me. He dropped his pretend gentle mask, flaunting like a winner. "Thought I'd return these to you. Especially this." She trashed it. "It's yours, right?" In the bag were gifts I'd given Clara over the years. He held a bullet necklace in his hand. It was from when I took a hit for Clara. The bullet extracted and turned into a necklace she wore. The memory of the bullet-piercing pain was vivid. "Jake, with your status, you'll never match Clara. Like how this bullet necklace doesn't belong in any formal setting." "By the way," Ryan smirked, "Clara said no matter how skilled a bodyguard is, he can't beat a loyal boyfriend. Since in danger, a loyal boyfriend would die for her." Never realized it was all an act from the start. I stood there for a while, long after Ryan left. I threw everything he brought into the trash, pulled out my phone, but hung up before calling Zoe. "Change your mind about coming with me?" A lazy voice came from nearby. Zoe stood not far away, waving her phone. She stepped over, taking my hand. "Let's go." I regretted it. I hadn't figured it out. Was I going just to go, or for revenge? Is that it? I looked hard at her, pretended to be carefree but really sharp. She got me all figured out. "Don't you mind?" "Nope." Zoe led me. "Jake, I'm waiting for the day you love me to death." We went to the party. Before going in, she paused. "What's up? Want to spice things up a bit?" She pulled me down by the neck, kissing me. After a bit, she let me go with sparks in her eyes. "Not bad. Let's go." Grandpa's party had quite a crowd. I'd been to such events many times, but as a guest, it was a first. "Lady of the house called for you." "Got it." Zoe took a look around. "Want to wait in my room?" "Why?" "I don't deserve to be seen." I mimicked. Zoe paused, then laughed. "Fine, wait for me." I found a corner to sit and wait. Soon, a cool voice with a hint of interrogation came over. "Why are you here?" Clara looked down at me. "I told you not to show up today. What's that on your neck?" Her eyes clouded, grabbing my arm. She pressed. "You got a girlfriend already?" "Who is she?" I shrugged her off. "Clara, we're just employer-employee. My personal life isn't your business." I started to walk away, but was pulled by Clara. Her eyes were angry, but became mocking in seconds. "You lied, right? There's no woman. Let go." With people around, I didn't want to make a scene. Clara obviously noticed and smirked. "Come with me." I wouldn't go, being pulled along. Suddenly, "Since when did you become so unruly? This is between him and me. Don't interfere." "Really?" Zoe scoffed, all possessive. "What if I'm his girlfriend?" Clara fell silent, her gaze falling on Zoe's hand on my waist, her face darkening. Eventually, her voice turned icy. "How did you two get together?" Zoe grinned slickly. "You didn't repay the favor, so your sister had to help you out." Clara's expression turned uglier. After a while, she glared at me full of sarcasm. "Is this how you get back at me, being with my sister? Jake, you're something else. But don't forget your place." "Come on." I didn't understand why Clara was so mad, even a bit resentful. She was the one who let go first. "We're just employer-employee. You don't have a say in my personal life." "Really?" Clara's face was dark. "The contract clearly states that within 24 hours, if the employer needs you, you've got to do it. No questions asked." I was about to say something when Zoe yanked me away. Her beautiful face was splashed with red wine, dripping down her chin. Ryan was holding a wine glass, looking stunned. "I wasn't trying to splash you," he mumbled. "It was meant for me, Ryan. I haven't wronged you, have I?" I asked, noticing a flicker of jealousy in his eyes. "You're trying to steal my fiancé. You're lucky a splash of wine is all you got." His actions drew attention from around us. "Jake, isn't the guy in this photo you? You're not going to deny it, right?" Ryan showed a photo on his phone. In the picture, Clara was asleep in a chair, and I was kindly placing a blanket over her. Back then, I was with her, and the love in my eyes was clear. How shameless, chasing after someone who's already engaged. I heard he's a bodyguard. People like him are just trying to climb the social ladder. I never interfered. I protested. Enough. Clara's cold voice cut me off. You're causing a scene. Just leave. I looked at her in disbelief. I get why she'd stand by Ryan, but not at the cost of humiliating me and twisting the truth. Am I really getting blamed for something I didn't do? Interfering in someone else's relationship? I didn't, Jake. Clara snapped, her words sharp and angry. This isn't your business anymore. Suddenly, Zoe took my hand, like a companion appearing for someone wandering the desert alone. My eyes got a little misty. He didn't interfere with your relationship, she said. Is it that hard to admit? People murmured around us, trying to figure out the mess between the four of us. Zoe, calm and casual, added, with me as your amazing girlfriend, do you really have eyes for anyone else? I couldn't describe how I felt, mostly grateful. No, you're all I need. With Zoe standing up for me, I couldn't let her do it alone. Clara's lips moved like she wanted to say something, but in the end, she stayed silent. So Zoe's his girlfriend. It's just a misunderstanding, then? Someone in the crowd noted. Exactly. We're all family here. Let's get this straightened out. Zoe handed me a glass of wine, still grinning, and guided my hand as if toasting, splashing the wine onto Ryan instead. He let out a sharp scream as his white suit turned red. Clara, looking annoyed, tried to wipe the wine off him. Zoe, that was too far, Clara hissed. Zoe didn't care, all laid back. I hold grudges. Next time you mess with my boyfriend, it won't just be a splash. She started to lead me away but stopped. Oh, and he's off tonight. If you really need someone, call me. I'll fill in. Zoe took me upstairs to her room. She tossed her clothes aside and headed into the shower while I waited. After a bit, my phone rang. It was Clara, but I ignored it. After 4 or 5 calls, she switched to messaging. Come down. You and Zoe, when did it start? Jake, do you even know what you're doing? Just apologize to Ryan. I found her annoying and didn't want to deal with her, so I turned off my phone. I must have been exhausted because I fell asleep. When I woke up, Zoe was out of the shower, dressed in her robe. Hearing me stir, she turned off her phone, her face a little warmer than before. Hey, you're up. Have some food. I brought some cake and barbecue from the party. I wasn't sure what you'd like best, so I brought a bit of everything. The cake was my favorite flavor. I suddenly remembered back in Country A, Zoe would sometimes visit her sister. Whenever there was an event, she'd wander around like a free spirit, collecting cakes for us from the party. With her around, I never went hungry no matter how busy things got. A thought that might be close to the truth popped into my head, but I was worried I was overthinking. Are you this thoughtful with everyone? I'm not that free, she replied. And you love this flavor of cake. Remember in Country A, whenever you got to eat it, you'd be a little happier. She paused, seeming to realize something. You trying to trick me? I stayed quiet. She smiled deeply, reading my thoughts. Guessed it. She knew that early? I asked. Sure did, she replied, kissing me. Her robe loosened as she took my hand and guided it inside. As we closed in on the bed, Zoe stopped suddenly, her gaze intense. Want the lights off? Yeah. But before they could be turned off, there was a knock at the door. Zoe frowned. Ignore it. Just as we were about to kiss, the knocking started again, each one more urgent. Open up, it's your sister. I nudged Zoe. Go see what she wants. Zoe got out of bed to open the door. Late night, and you're not snuggling with your fiancé. What's up? She teased, leaning on the door frame. Seeing me wrapped in a blanket on the bed, Clara turned pale. She spoke in a stiff voice. You've got 10 minutes to come downstairs. I didn't move. I'm not feeling well tonight. I'm taking the night off. Zoe laughed openly, saying, my boyfriend's tired. Talk to me if you've got something to say. Clara said nothing, staring at me, her voice full of menace. Your mother's bracelet is with me. The implication was clear. If I didn't leave with her, I'd never see it again. I stared back at her, surprised. The woman I once loved was now a stranger. I just found it ironic. Meeting her gaze, I spoke slowly. Toss it. She didn't want me. I don't want her or her things either. Clara's expression turned ugly. She stormed in, and Zoe didn't even try to stop her. I wrapped the blanket around me, seeing Ryan appear at the door, his expression dark. Clara, did you really come looking for Jake in the middle of the night? Zoe lazily waved her phone at him. After that night, Clara and Ryan argued more and more, but I stayed out of it. A month later, they got married, and my contract with Clara was up, so I started packing to move out. Over the years, I saved up some money and made a down payment on a pretty nice 3-bedroom place. After visiting my new home, I was going back to my current place and caught a whiff of smoke and alcohol as I was climbing the stairs. My hand paused while reaching for the keys. I locked eyes with someone at the door. It was Clara. Clara, who hadn't been here since I returned to the country. The sensor light flickered on, revealing her slightly worn-out expression and reddened eyes. "When did you change the locks?" she asked. I didn't answer, instead changing the topic, saying that all the wedding arrangements were made. If Clara had any objections, she could just have her secretary call me for changes. "I haven't thrown out your stuff." I then noticed a large box on the floor, filled with gifts she had given me once. "They're yours. I won't take them back." I couldn't understand why she was here now. Was she upset seeing me with Zoe? "Then just throw them away," I said, opening the door to go inside, when she grabbed me. Her gaze was cold. "Jake, how long are you going to be stubborn? If you're with Zoe just to spite me, you've succeeded. Now call her and break up immediately." I thought I had made myself clear. I shook off her hand and tried to go inside. She blocked my way again. "So you're really with Zoe just to spite me, right?" She was insane. Where did she even get that idea? I was too lazy to banter with her. Then out of nowhere, she pushed me against the door, startling me. Instinctively, I grabbed her arm, flipped her over my shoulder, and she hit the ground. Clara looked a bit dazed. It took her a moment and a frown to get up, her expression kind of odd as she looked at me. "You threw me. I can't believe I threw my boss. If I screwed up, just deduct the damages from my paycheck." Clara's face looked even worse. I really didn't want to reminisce with her here. My phone kept ringing, and I had to answer it. "Are you out yet? Really don't need me to pick you up." It was Zoe. "No need, Jake." Just before I could speak, Clara interrupted. "Can you honestly say you don't love me at all anymore, and only love Zoe?" There was silence on the other end of the line. Then Zoe's slightly cold voice came through. "So the reason you're late is because of her. Jake, I told you to use me, but don't lie to me." "I'd love to hear it too." "Hear what?" "That I love her." "Do I love her?" "These days with her have been wonderful. I've completely forgotten about Clara, but I don't want to say it here just to provoke someone. It doesn't feel sincere." "Got it." Zoe chuckled bitterly and hung up. Once she hung up, I felt a sudden rush of panic. I tried calling back, but she wouldn't answer. I kept calling when Clara grabbed my arm. "Is it necessary?" Her deep eyes fixed on me. "Admit it, Jake. The one you love is still me. Break it off with her." "No," I replied firmly, word by word. "Because I truly fell for Zoe and want to be with her. I'll tell her that myself." I found Zoe. Today is her birthday. In the karaoke room, a group of her friends was singing loudly and crazily. When I walked in, the music stopped. Compared to Clara's friends, who would only look down on or mock me, Zoe's friends had a respectful friendliness that felt unusual. "Where is she?" I asked, and the people on the couch immediately made room. "Over here." Zoe was in a long black deep V dress, her hair done up with a chain around her neck. She looked stunning but was clearly drunk, passed out on the couch. "Don't let go of Zoe. She's liked you for years." "Yes, remember when you were on a mission in Country E? Zoe was worried and followed you almost every time. And when you got shot and were in critical condition, Zoe left a full meeting room and chartered a plane to fly to Country A. In her worry, she even got into a car accident on her way from the airport to the hospital. She refused to treat her injuries and just worked to get people to save you, watching over you night and day until you woke up. She didn't allow us to mention it afterward. Zoe's stunning and fairly wealthy. She could spend her whole life, next life, and the one after burning through her money. For the sake of money. If she made you upset, just forgive her once. Apparently, she'd been doing so much for me behind my back that I never knew about. I calmed myself. Did she say she upset me? No, but we figured that must be the case. Suddenly, I was at a loss for words. We're fine, just a little misunderstanding. But why is she so drunk? She's not drunk, just had too much. Alcohol allergy. From the couch, Zoe opened her eyes with a frown. How did I end up with friends who can't even lie properly? I stifled a laugh. We'll be heading out. We headed home. The moment we opened the door, Zoe eagerly kissed me. She pushed me into the bedroom, and I fell onto the bed with her on top. I cautiously responded, and she felt it, as if flipping some kind of special switch, unable to stop. We kissed like we couldn't let go. At that moment, my phone rang. Honestly, I was a bit caught up myself. Frowning, I fumbled for my phone, recognizing a familiar number. Zoe recognized it too and answered. Neither of us spoke, but on the other end, the tone was softer than a few hours ago. I bought a gift for you. Make sure you get it. Zoe scoffed and bit down on my neck. It hurt, but before I could react, Zoe covered my lips. Jake, I've always had feelings for you. I don't know how long, but eventually. From the other side of the line came a hesitant voice. Jake, who are you with? What are you doing? That girl has some really bad taste. Zoe looked smug. It's nighttime. We're a couple. What do you think we're up to? Silence from the other end. Zoe has a knack for driving people crazy. So you've never been with Ryan? The other person's fuming. The call cuts off. Zoe notices my fingers brushing against the scar just below her ribcage. She's dismissive, acting like it's no big deal. Nah, it's nothing. Hurts a lot though, right? Nothing compared to taking a bullet for my sister. I mean, that was... Stop right there. I'm not interested in your past with her. I kissed the corner of her mouth. I just want to tell you, I've moved on from her. Zoe's eyes light up, staring directly at me. What do you mean? It means she's not in my heart anymore. So now your heart's got room for me. I think for a moment, nodding my head. Do you remember when you said I'd fall for you someday? Turns out you're a top-notch fortune teller. Next second, the covers are on us and Zoe is on top. Baby, how about one more time? A month passes. It's Clara and Ryan's wedding day, but the night before, the wedding's canceled. Reporters dig deep, revealing Clara called it off. The stock takes a hit, and everyone's gossiping. I can't be bothered with their drama. I'm more concerned with when I can finally sign my release contract. Then out of nowhere, Clara shows up with flowers and a fancy car, crafting a picturesque scene. She's got a bunch of Ecuadorian cracked ice blue roses and says, Jake, I found the ring. Would you give me a chance to marry me? Bystanders start egging us on. I'm holding groceries, speechless. I just ignore her and turn to leave, but Clara catches up to me. I called off the wedding. She gives a self-deprecating smile, looking less superior than before. It's hilarious, right? Realizing at the end I can't let you go. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but I've got to get home and cook. Jake. Clara grabs my arm, her eyes filled with deep regret. Everyone makes mistakes. So you're not giving me even a single chance. I'm not in love with you anymore. I don't believe that. Clara locks eyes with me. You loved me so much you risked your life. I calmly push her hand away. Yup, I risked it all to protect something. And what did it get me? Even if you didn't love me, you could have broken up nicely, but instead you chose the cruelest way. You got all cozy with him right in front of me, letting your friends humiliate me. Clara, is this what you call love? No, you're just unwilling. Clara's eyes gradually dim. I'll show you my sincerity. I didn't expect it to come so quickly. Next day, Clara uses her company's account to post online. She claims she loved someone else, and her marriage was just an alliance. She's going after the one she truly loves now. She wrote an essay, keeping my name discreet. It stirs up the internet. Some condemn her, others urge us to reunite. Zoe reads it to me every night, jealous, and each time, she insists I compensate her for the injury to her feelings. Days go by like this. Clara sends a message asking me to sign the release contract. I go. We haven't seen each other in days, and she looks exhausted with bloodshot eyes. Her once cold demeanor now looks worn out. Sit down. No need. I'll just sign the contract and be on my way. Clara hands over the contract, her gaze unreadable. In a hurry? Is someone waiting on you? I haven't told Zoe. She's busy, so no need to mention this little issue. And I'm not about to explain it to Clara either. I flip through the contract, immediately frowning. This isn't a release contract. It's a share transfer document. What's going on? Marry me, and you get half the shares. I put down the pen, anger simmering. If the contract's not ready, I'll come back another time. Turning to leave, I hear the office door lock behind me. I quickly turn around. Clara sits, hands folded, her gaze direct. Jake, 5 years by my side, and you still haven't learned. What I want, person included, I always get. You're seriously nuts. Only crazy about you. She stands, looks out the window. In an hour, they'll announce our engagement. I go for my phone to call Zoe, but realize there's no signal. The signal on this floor is jammed. You can't reach anyone. As she finishes, there's a loud crash. The glass door to the office is smashed open. Zoe's standing there with a chair. She's cut her hand. Red blood stands out starkly. I rush over. You're hurt. Zoe's unfazed. She didn't give you any trouble, did she? I shake my head. With my skills, who could trouble me? Great, she grins. Now let's watch the show. Just then, Ryan storms in. He slaps Clara with all he's got. You love, you don't love? What does that make me? Your toy. Clara takes it for a moment before stopping him. Enough. I said everything. We're done. I glance at Zoe. I don't want to stick around. Let's go. Your hand needs attention. Sure. Zoe doesn't forget to throw a jab at Clara before leaving. Congrats in advance on the wedding. The day before their wedding, Clara texts me just 3. I'm sorry. I've just finished reading when I hear a soft sneer behind me. Can't give it up yet, huh? I delete the message. No reply. Zoe's hand slides under my shirt, her voice gravelly. Then make it up to me. I turn off the lights and hold her close. Zoe, I really love you. You're all I need.